Hello? Hi everyone. Can you see me and hear me okay? Let me know. And we're going to play some Peacemakers Horrors of War today, where we are going to try and stop an automated war game from happening essentially. I think what I did for the playthrough, right, was lay these down. I've just been setting them up. And it's just occurred to me that in bird's eye view, we want to see the meeples, right? Just when they all crowd together in a space, it's going to be a problem. But they're probably going to run off all by themselves, right? Hey, James. How's it going? Hopefully, I'm all coming through okay, and it's going to be great. AV good? Good. So, I did a playthrough for this with a prototype. There was a pretty good prototype. I don't know if you would notice much quality difference, because I don't know if there is any, between that and the full game, but there is a full game's worth of scenarios in this. So the game comes with 6 different scenarios to play through, but not only will the scenarios go differently based on the horror cards, on the resource cards that you get, and the way that the armies act, you can introduce various challenges as well. A challenge with every scenario. Now I'll grab the achievement sheet actually. For each of the scenarios, you just want to win. You want to achieve peace. Basically, the armies that are at war in each of these scenarios, the animal folk armies. Here we have the Tuatara pirates and the spectacle bears versus the scarlet macaws, and we'll have a little bit of story as to how things are heating up between them. These are the characters that we play as. It's 1 to 4 players. I'm going to play 2 characters here just so we can see more stuff, so I can have a bit more presence in the map. But you can play solo. Our characters are not at risk in this at all. Our goal in it is to make peace happen. We are trying to wear these armies down through subterfuge, through kind of getting in their way, messing up their orders, and kind of poisoning their food, but not full-on poison. We don't want anybody to get seriously hurt. We want people to get annoyed enough, fed up enough, their morale to fall far enough so that they decide this isn't worth it, we are just going to call it off. So the way that's dealt with is the armies have a morale here. It's determined by various things. They have a starting value, and places they're standing in might have some morale boosting that. So through various means, we want to lower both of the armies' morale so that when we check the status at the end of a round, they are both in the green section. If anybody gets to 0 morale, they surrender. That's not good. That means that one side is victorious and that fighting has been proven to be effective. We want to make them see the horrors of war and to decide that it's just not worth it. So one of the things that we want to do to win in the first place, you want to achieve peace. Another goal that you can do in each scenario is to do it with no casualties, because one way, if there is a casualty of war, if somebody dies, their side loses a morale. So that is a way to make their morale go down if they start having casualties. But that's when we start getting cards from the horror deck introduced, because there are horrors inherent in war. But also, if you want to up the difficulty and go for these achievements, the scenarios all have a starting difficulty. I don't think any of their starting difficulties go beyond 3 stars out of 5. Yeah, the final scenario has 3 stars. You can make them harder and harder by increasing the number of these challenges that you want to include that will change up the rules, make them more difficult for you. I am going to do in this playthrough scenario 2, because in the prototype, I believe I did scenario 1. Get you started. Makes sense? So we are going to do scenario 2, loose cannon. I'm not going to include the challenges in this yet, but I am going to try and see if we can both win and try and stop any casualties from happening. We'll see how effective I am at that, and try and do it before me computer goes mad, because it's as well as me being hot in this room, my computer's very hot. It's been a warm day today. Hopefully it all works out. It's not throwing alarm bells at me yet, but I basically tried not to use it. I was using it earlier, and we'll try and keep the temps down of everything. Hey, Truck Driving Gamer. Hey, Matt, Nick, Hans. Thank you all for joining me. So, shall we have a look then at the story and the rules for our scenario. Thanks, James, for activating the bot. You can support the channel on Patreon, on Ko-fi. There are links in the description to do it. There will be links back on the screen at some point soon. I'm adjusting to new streaming technology. Do I seem a bit small? Am I usually bigger than this? I'm going to make myself a bit bigger. That's maybe too big. I'm using a different streaming software that is not making my computer go haywire. It shouldn't really, should it? It's only showing some video to you. Right. Let's see if we can zoom in on the book then. There we go. So, to set the scene for this scenario, the adventurers watched from a distance as boats landed on the Scarlet Macaw Empire's western coast, the shore soon swarming with dark-furred, battle-hardened, spectacled bear fighters. Their war roars could be heard all the way to the Macaw stronghold. The bears had landed behind it in enemy territory and they were preparing to charge. Nominally, the war between the two folks had already ended, its flames snuffed out. The snappy macaws, who were quick to anger, were equally quick to cool down again. For the bears, however, their flame took a lot to ignite, but the resulting pyre proved difficult to extinguish. Some of them never stopped fighting. Their vengeful rage still burned red hot, fueled by lives lost in the past, fanned by blood spilt in the present. The macaws were ready, however. The fortress had stood here at the Empire's border for decades, and it would take a force of nature... I was saying it right and thought I was saying it wrong. And it would take a force of nature mightier than an angry bear to breach its walls. As it happened, one was coming. A sound of thunder split the clear skies, followed by another. Shocked, the adventurers took cover as huge stones fell, a part of the fortress wall collapsing like a sandcastle against a tide. Then they saw it. A pirate ship approached the coast, and on its deck was a weapon most fearsome. The ship buckled as it fired again, a black bundle of destruction sailing through the air and past the walls. It was a horror of a new age, one of a kind on this side of the world. And then our 4 characters, I know we're only going to be seeing 2 of them here, but 4 of them will be appearing. I know that weapon. The monstrosity sentenced to be disposed of as per the peace treaty has fallen to the hands of the despicable pirates. It is now pointed against its former wielders, but if we do not stop it, the havoc that thing brings is utter and indiscriminate. And I know that flag. Ho-har! What a blast from the past. These Tuataras are a jolly but disorganised bunch. Get me a boat and a peg leg and I'll slip right in and keelhaul their plans, whatever they are. Ever tell you how I ended up sailing with pirates once? Somehow that does not surprise me. What does is how the bears would ally themselves with that lot. They're honourable to a fault, are they not? Has anger injured their senses to this degree? We must heal those wounds before they bring everything to ruin. Or keep the bears from ever reaching the macaws. I like running from my problems, but making them run from me is even better. And not just for the macaw's sake. Warrock has executed so many great things I'd tire myself out just trying to list them. So, in this scenario, loose cannon tells us who's at war, the difficulty, all of that stuff. Scenario rules. Before we deal the starting hands, 3 special cards have been shuffled into the resource deck for this particular scenario. They will let us move from one anchor space to another. Here is one anchor space. Here is the other anchor space. We are not allowed to move in these spaces normally. So it's the only way the adventurers are getting there. The macaws have something to help them with that. Remember to get them out at the end of the game. Tuataras have their own army, but they are allied with the bears and share the same motivation, their morale. Tuataras have 1 order deck instead of 2. The Macaw Ranger can move into impassable spaces. Strategy tips. You can move to and from the ship only with set sail. Decide when it's worthwhile to pay them a visit. With 5 order decks, you need to think even more carefully which decks to survey and when. So that is our setup. And so we have Akazan, the Fennec Fox, and Yainar, the Agami Heron, as our adventurers here. As I said, we are not part of the fighting. We are a completely independent force that are trying to make peace happen. So we do not have to worry about being attacked, damage, any of that stuff. The armies are at war with each other. We have to worry about them hurting each other, but not us. Our positioning and presence on the map is purely for the things you can interact with. A lot of the time you'll be asked for, like, this can affect something nearby. Nearby is something in your space. So a nearby army is an army that has presence in your space. So we get started then. In a round, the adventurers go first. We take actions. We can play in any order at all. And an action is basically play a card. The cards we have have a load of symbols down the side. Not every card can do everything, but we can play cards to survey. This lets us look at a nearby army's order card. It lets you look at the top card of one of their decks, or if you've already revealed some, it lets you reveal further down. We can travel. This is the number of spaces that playing that card will let you move around. You can fortify a space, place fortification tokens. If anybody attacks somebody that's in a space that's fortified, you take away fortification tokens before they take damage. And you can delegate. You can give this card to somebody else that's in your space. So, oh, and not just that, you can scheme as well. This is how the text of the card becomes relevant. The symbols, you just do the symbol thing and that's it for the card. But playing it for its scheme ability is how you do the actual text on it. So, we've got Yainar and Akazan's cards here, and I will try to remember which side is which. So, what would we like to do here? Sometimes, I don't know, I like to let them kind of go for a turn and see what happens before we step in. Because at the end of every turn, when we decide we don't want to do any more actions, you don't have to play all your cards. You draw 4 more cards and split them between the players. So we'll get 2 more cards each at the end of the round. And maybe, you know, I might want to make them run away. I might want to make them move in. I might want to see what their plans are. But let's see, I can remove damage from units. That would be good later. If I used it to move, it's got this plus card symbol on it. That means when I play it for that thing, or to do a fortification in this case, I would get to draw a new card. So that could be something good. Choose 1 or 2 nearby units and move them 1 space backward. That would be good for Akazan to have. I was going to say Yainar, but it would be good for Akazan to have. So certain cards, you can see they've got like an adventurer's colour and symbol on there and a little picture of them. That means if they play that card, it's more powerful. Choose 1 or 2 nearby units and move them a space backwards. Because they're going to march like on each other probably. Well, the bears are going to march. I don't know about the macaws. They're kind of fortified at the moment. But for example, like these fortresses here, they have motivation symbols on them. If I was to get this macaw to move a space backwards, they would lose 2 motivation because they're not in that fortress anymore. So that's a way that we can get their motivation down. At the same time, they're then like at risk, but they'd be far away, so hopefully they wouldn't be too much at risk. I move people backwards. I could survey and then draw a card. Give up to 2 damage to a nearby unit. It can't reduce the unit below 1 health. Flip the bottommost card face up of a nearby army's deck. Place it on top of the deck or not. I think we're going to give Cunning Retreat. Yeah, Yainar's going to give Cunning Retreat to Akazan. So it would be better for them to play. And could play this just to move. There's no point fortifying this space for no reason. I think that's all Yainar's going to do. He's no tail design. Hey, Sammy. Good luck with the scenario. With Tuataras wreaking havoc, you'll probably need it. I feel like I'm probably going to need it. Yeah, there's just going to be cannonballs flying in from everywhere. And we can't go to him right now to see what he's going to do or stop him from doing it. But if we use this food poisoning card, if Akazan uses that to get nearby to the macaws, or does he want to be with the macaws? Does he want to move them back? They're going to be the ones marching and getting in the way. Can't quite get to them right now. But we could if we used the 2 movements. Because everything's got 2 range usually. I think, yeah, everything on the board right now has got 2 range. So I don't even want the bears here. I want them gone. But there's only 1 nearby unit in a space currently. So we wouldn't get to do like the full effect of it. He's a bit protected in this space. Okay, what if he uses food poisoning to move? And he'll move over here, because it lets him draw a new card. Maybe he'll get to move further. Local contacts. Flip the topmost or any card face up from an army's deck. That would be better for Yainar to have, and we've just left his space. Okay, if we use the local contacts to move a second space, he could go there, and it gives him another card back because he used it to move. Set sail. Move from one anchor to the other. If you move to the Tuatara, keep this in your hand. Well, unfortunately, maybe we should hang on to that. There's only 3 of these cards. We do cycle the deck. We shuffle it up if it goes round, but it may have horror cards in it when it shuffles. Hopefully. We're hoping for no casualties, so no need to see the horror cards. Well, I kind of want to show you the horror cards. They definitely came out in the other playthrough that I did. Do we wait for someone to move in? Let's see. If cogs are moving, they will both go forward. They will go forward. We'll just do Cunning Retreat now. We'll make him move a space back in case the macaws are going to attack. They could have surveyed. Oh yeah, survey first. Let's see what's happening. Flip the bottommost card face up from a nearby army's deck. So this is like usually the speed of things, and it can modify things. This is the thing that they do. So we can reveal it and put it on top or not because we are Akazan. So they're going to charge. Each bear moves a space forward. The star bears can move into a macaw's space. Each one who does attacks. So we could just put this on the top of the deck or not. We won't. So we'll put that back on the bottom. It can be face up now to remind us. But we don't have to put it on top because we are Akazan. And do we want to move him back? In case they're attacking, then we wouldn't be nearby. Yeah, Cunning Retreat. Make him move back just in case the macaws are going to attack. But then he needs to move next time to be nearby to anybody. I think that's all of the adventuring we'll do. So refresh. Let's draw 4 new cards. See what we get here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw cards. We're not playing as Tembatro, so we can't do any of these green abilities. Defensive Spirit. All units of a nearby army gain +2 defense for this round, and that's ongoing for the whole rest of the round. Or 3 if Akazan was doing it. Carry a pigeon, draw more cards. Guidance. Move any card from a nearby army to any other position in their deck. That's pretty good. And the set sail we had before. Okay then. So then we have the army phase. We don't know. We know one thing that the bears aren't doing. But when we zoom down to here, I think you can see everyone's cards just about. We reveal their cards. And they have a speed. So the Tuataras only have 1 card. So we can see they're going at 10 speed. Everybody else's, we add up their 2 cards here. So we've got a speed of 10, a speed of 5. The 0.4 is in case there's a tie break. That'll break it for you. And 4 and 3 is 7. So it's going to be the Tuataras, then the macaws, then the bears. And they're fortifying, they're taking cover. I think that's okay. So first of all, the Tuataras are going to go fire the cannon. I don't like that. Oh dear. If he has damage, remove 2 damage from him. Otherwise, roll the die. You can reroll once if any adventurer is nearby. Tuatara attacks all units on space 10. So we can see there's a number on all of these spaces here. Space 10, he is going to do 3 damage because he is attacking from he's firing his cannon. There's no fortifications because we haven't done them yet, but there is a shield on the space, so they're not going to take 3 damage each. They're going to take 2 damage each, which I'm going to have to stack. They've got 5 health from the commander here. Has got 8. So we might need to heal them. They would have taken 3 each. Okay. We need to get Yonar over there fortifying probably because of this cannon, or getting over there to stop him. So we could have re-rolled that and hoped to have gotten an empty space. If any bear took damage, they would lose a morale. Not yet. And then each, but yeah, we could have poisoned their food, couldn't we, and given them a bit of damage. And so that's it for their card. That go into their discard pile. Then the macaws are going. An impatient fortify. Resolve the right half first. If the right half is strike, place it face up on top of its deck. So it would do it again. So fortify. Each star macaw places a fortification on its space. So they've kind of fortified for me, actually. The letters are just where those particular things started. Fortifications can't be put on the impassable and water spaces. Just a reminder of that. Okay, so that's them done. They fortified their particular space. And then the bears, remedial cover. Remove 2 damage from each bear in this group. So yeah, poison, and they would have healed the poison as well. Cover, each bear gains +2 defense for this round. They went last anyway, but nobody attacked them, so they are fine. But yeah, this kind of... The pirates cannoning might end up hurting the bears. It's indiscriminate. So, what are we going to do? It's back to me. And there is like usually a attack priority and all of this, but the pirate's the only one that attacked, and he does it by the die. So nobody's nearby yet. We can heal somebody too if Yinar goes up to somebody. We kind of want the bears to take some damage, but not enough to, like, seriously hurt them. What if... like, Akazan will move back so he's nearby somebody. So these bears, he'd like to move them back. And then draw a card from the resource deck. You can give a card from your hand to another player. Doesn't say nearby. They may give a card to you. So he'll draw a card. It's Set Sail. Another one. So he'll give Set Sail to Yinar. Does Yinar want to give... We've only got one survey to see what people are doing. And it is a 2 movement card. He could go to the Tuatara. There's only 2 of us, though, so, like, seeing what everybody's doing is going to be tough. So we can look at what the bears are doing, but we can't really change it at the moment. He's just going to leave it that. We won't give him a card. Because somebody could be stood there just stopping him. But we want to, like, just keep them back and maybe move these back eventually. Because the move back card could be played by anybody. I think, yeah, Yinar is going to move. So he's in a space with them, because it would be worth fortifying these, I think. Discard any card from a nearby army. Well, it would help to look at them. Survey. With this, I think. Would like to draw a card from the resource deck, but... we will survey what are the macaws doing? What action are they taking? Strike. The circles are going to attack. They've got range 2, so he will get attacked. So does that change? Do you want to fortify now? Could fortify this space for 2. He's already shielded for 1. What do they attack for? 3. So he'd take 2 damage. Yeah, that's not too bad yet. I don't think we want to stop that. They're not in an amazing position to attack with 2 range, so I think we'd be okay sticking with that. Maybe hang on to the cards later. You might want to... No, we'll fortify 2 here. Because if he's going to fire his cannon again, everyone's a bit more protected now, and he can work his way over and heal one of them for 2 next time, and hopefully they don't somehow take 3 more damage. Hopefully. You just move off that shield symbol so don't forget it. Okay, yeah. We'll get 2 more cards each. So what have we got here? Cunning Retreat's good for him to get. We can just keep moving the bears back. But, yeah, we don't want to move all of them back too much because we want to... We do want to move the macaws back as well out of their thing so they'll lose some morale. So the army phase, we do know what the macaws are doing. So he's defending the ship. So Tuatara attacks 6, 3, 5. Yes, that's going to happen first. Tuatara attacks and gains +2 shield for this round because this is also a macaw that's going to be attacking him. He has got infinite health. But if he's got damage, it affects what he's doing. You saw the fire the cannon. We probably want him to have a bit of damage so he doesn't fire that cannon. So he's got a bit of shield. And he attacks. He's got range 2, though, when he's not firing his cannon. Hey, Skip, how's it going? Then 5 is next. So a revoked charge. Perfect. So the cog-based bears would be charging a space forward, and the bears are allowed in McCaw's spaces. Usually, they're not allowed in enemy spaces. They can be in friendly spaces. But the first half of this is revoked. Do not resolve the right half, and they lose a motivation, which is exactly what we want. And then the McCaws are doing a prime strike. Resolve the right half first. Each circle McCaw attacks. So this one in 2 range cannot get to any enemy. This one here in 2 range can get to an enemy. And it attacks for 3. It's got 1 defense just in the space. It's hiding in the rocks and stuff. So it's going to take 2 damage. It's got 5 health. So that's okay for now. That's all of the circle McCaws attacking. Discard a new right half. If it affects the same group as the first, lose a morale. Does that mean reveal a new right half? I assume so. Discard a new right half. If it affects the same group as the first, it does circles. They lose a morale. Resolve the new right half. The circles attack. So he does nothing, but he attacks him again for another 2 damage. Suddenly, this bear's only got 1 health left. Everyone said it was going to be fine. We didn't need to fortify that. Mixed groups affect only the first right half. Okay. So that's not great. They've gotten to do double attacking, which I wasn't prepared for. So back to me. We've got a lot of cards. We've got a lot of movement here. We could make another army's order faster. We've not got a lot of survey. I think we want him to move back. Because he's very vulnerable right now. What if we survey with this, though? Let's see what the bears are up to. Oh, that gets discarded as well. They are going to get +2 defense. That's fine by me. And so they're not going to be charging. We want basically to keep revoke happening. This is the standard edition of the game. It's got it's like a sequel reimagining of Dawn of Peacemakers that I covered years ago on the channel. That is the same kind of concept, but that was an ongoing campaign-based game with minis for everything. So here we've got printed meeples for everything instead, and it's like rather than being an ongoing campaign, it's a 6 scenario-based game, but there's more variability and stuff in the scenarios, and you can play them in any order you like. And there's like the horror deck and stuff is a new concept. But it's the standard edition of the game. One like extra thing that I'm not sure if it'll come with every copy is this pack of 10 horror cards that work a little bit differently to the standard ones, and I have shuffled them in. I'm sure we'll be able to get separately. Oh, actually to tell RH Summit. Something requires a password. I'll tell her that password. Just remembered about that, because otherwise she would have been running up in about 10 minutes or so saying, what's the password? You didn't tell me. But it might be right now. Right. So should we defend them? He's only got 1 health left. So I feel like he needs fortifying no matter what. I could fortify all of the bears, or I could just put 2. I could just put 2 in this space, and that'll protect him in the future. I can't heal him. Yaino's got loads of movement. We could make armies orders faster. He was heading up there to heal units. Should we have him move with this, which lets him draw a new card, and he'll go to the damage space. Oh, he's drawn another emergency care. Let's remove 2 damage from a nearby unit. Heal you up. And he's going to emergency care this one as well. So they're back up to full health. We are peacemaking. We are healing. Do we want to survey? I don't think they're going to move. They're just going to fortify and stuff. We've got some fortifications out. There's no fortify on these cards. So I think we'll leave it. Maybe we'll survey next time. So draw 4 new cards. So we get local contact, flip the topmost, or any card face up from an army's deck. And Einar's got cards for you, Einar. So move any 2 cards from a nearby army to any other position in their deck. So we could survey a couple, and then we could move them elsewhere. And another set sail. Okay, the armies then. What are they going to be up to? So Tuatara is just healing himself. And we've got revoked for this side as well. So speed 2, 4, 1. Okay then. Burning cover for the bears. So if any bear in this group has damage, that's the stars. They do. They've got 4 damage. Lose a morale. Each one gains +1 attack, +1 damage for each damage it has this round. Good job they're doing cover, because if it was attacking, that isn't the leader. The bear charger would be attacking for 7. And they've got 2 range. Could have been, I don't think it would have killed anyone with that, but close. But no, each bear is getting +2 defense. Each star bear is getting 2 defense for this round. And then revoked strike. Revoked is my favourite because it just makes them lose some morale. We need these guys to lose more morale though, because they started with less. Do not resolve the right half, which would have been the cogs attacking. Oh, it would have been him attacking. He isn't in range. If Tuatara has 3 damage or less, lose a morale. Because that's his job. He's the only cog. His only job is to give him damage, and he hasn't done it. But we don't resolve the right half, so that's good, because I don't want them to lose too much, because we need to get these guys down. Okay, then. So... we're kind of fortified and stuff. I'd like a healing card for this guy, or to make him move back. Because 4 damage from something, if somebody got, like, a boost, it would be over for him. And they target the ones with the most damage, and we're trying not to let anyone die. So do we want to fortify the space more? If we're willing to use set sail, no one's going over to him, are they? He's going to fire that cannon again soon. We could just give all of the bears some defense, but it's only for this round. Because if you fortify... Let's look at what they're doing. Hurry up. I'm going to use the survey symbol. And let's see what they're going to try and do. So the cogs are striking. They're too far away. So unless... Can't remember, do the left cards move them? The leader of the Paris called Macaulay Culkin. I don't know why it isn't. Maybe in a future scenario. Commander Warwick at the moment. So they're going to attack, but they're out of range. So we don't need to worry about that. Shall we have... Let's survey with this hurry up as well. And see what they're going to do. They're just going to fortify the circle spaces. So I'm kind of content to let them get on with that. We could survey further. See what they're planning next time. Because you can, like... it's just the topmost face down card you turn face up. They're going to fortify again. So the stars are going to fortify next. So they are just defending. We don't have to worry about them potentially killing a bear. And hopefully if a load of damage comes in here, they're all healed up. I think I'm happy to let it slide for now. So new cards. Food poisoning. Maybe at a certain point we want to set sail and go and give the Tuatara some food poisoning so he doesn't fire his cannon when it comes to that. defensive spirit, cunning retreat. Mixed groups, a nearby army's next order is resolved by the cog base, right? Yeah, the cog base, if any such unit is on the map, instead of what it was supposed to be. Ooh. So that could be good, like if some other bears were striking. Okay, then. So, army phase. Sutara's firing the cannon. That's dangerous because he's got no damage. And the Macaws. Ooh. Oh, dear. They're losing morale again. That's bad. Right. Fire the cannon. It's 10, 5, 6. So fire the cannon first. Does he have any damage? No. So he rolls the dice, and it is going to cannonball in space 4. Great. That is just nothing. Has any bear... If any bear took damage from that attack, if he's hurt a bear, it would hurt their morale. So we do kind of want the bears to move forward. And let them take damage from this cannonball. Each bear, then this, resolve the right half first. Each circle macaw places a fortification on its space. Oh, actually, that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. Then, if macaw's spaces have a total of at least 5 fortifications, 3, 5, 6, they gain a morale, otherwise they lose one. That's good. We want them to be even as possible, really. So that's them done. And then finally, a sturdy strike from the bears. Each bear in the group gains +2 defense. If the right half is cover, they would lose a morale. So, yeah, he could do some manipulation if we'd looked far ahead enough. We've got some more survey cards now, though. Each cog bear attacks. They've got a range of 2. 1, 2 gets them nowhere. They just attack nothing. So far, peacekeeping. 4 damage on each side. We managed to heal it on this side, but not had any healing from this side yet. We know they're fortifying again. And as you can see, like, it still helps, like, to look at the left-hand card, because you might be worried about this and it could be revoked on this side. Or, as we just saw, like, if that hadn't been fortified, they would have lost a motivation. So it's back to us. Skip, how is this game released to Dawn of the Peacemakers? Yes, it's a successor. So it's the same system and the same idea. We are characters trying to bring about peace. Rather than being a campaign-based game, so like play through the scenarios, make choices and all of that stuff that was in Dawn of Peacemakers, there are 6 scenarios in this game, and there's some variation in how those scenarios can happen, still in how the armies will act and stuff, but there are like extra wrinkles that you can put on top of the game. There are extra difficulty things you can add onto any campaign, and the like component-wise, instead of having minis for everything, it's screen printed meeples for everything now. I think that's the basics. Let me know if I'm forgetting anything. Oh, and the horror cards are a new thing. Like when there are casualties, you put horror cards on top of the resource deck. So whenever we need to draw cards, you'll draw a horror card, and I'll just show you a random one in case, because the aim is to not let anybody die. But say we drew a horror card. This is a standard one. So there is a priority of who is in the game. So actually, Yinar is in the game. So this would affect Yinar. But if he wasn't in the game, we would go down the list until someone who is in the game gets affected by it. Place 2 random cards from your hand face up under this. At the start of next refresh, put them back in your hand. And this is ongoing. And when you discard these, they go into the discard pile. When the resource deck gets shuffled up, they come back out. So the more horrors you have let get into the scenario, they're going to keep coming back to haunt you. Okay, I think it's our go, isn't it? So, we need to do some surveying. Akazan has got some good surveying cards if he doesn't move people back. He does kind of want to move him back because he's wounded and we can't heal him. But we could just fortify it more. Let's, rather than make it... They're fortifying, so they're not getting attacked, so they don't need defensive spirit. Let's look at what they're doing. We've had the revoke card. I think there's only one revoke card. So let's look on this side. Because if these guys are attacking... Oh, these guys are charging forward, which might be alright. Like, we might want them to kind of hang out here, so they might get hit by the cannons. Because if they take damage from the cannonball, their side loses morale. Because they're moving forward 1. It does put them in range. Because, like, I could go over there and move them backwards, so their move forward doesn't matter, but I think that's going to be okay. We could move, which lets us draw a card. Safe haven, put 2 fortifications on any space. 3 if Dinar was playing it. So that lets us move to the space we know they're going to. And we could put some fortifications in that. Although now I'm thinking I should have just kept fortifying that space. We know they're not attacking just yet, though. Do I want to survey? We can change the group. But it changes it to cogs. So that is already cogs, so that wouldn't matter. Inyanar could move. Oh, he hasn't got a set sail anymore. He spent it. So there's only a couple with survey. He'll do this. Let's have a look at what they're doing entirely. Swift. If this order has the highest speed, and it's 9, they get a morale. If it has the lowest, they lose a morale. It's not going to be the lowest, is it? So I haven't got the card that helps us boost. So we could see, but we can't change it. I think I'm going to use this cunning retreat to survey the next move of the bears, which is strike. The stars will strike, but only he's going to be in range. And surveying with it lets me draw a new card. Lost missive. Discard any card from a nearby army. Oh, wait. He's moved out into where nobody is. Okay, he would have to move, like, where they are now then. He was going to move to where they're going to be and fortify, but just say he moved there. Because we could put fortifications on any space. In fact, he shouldn't have moved at all, really. He should have just stood where he was. I kind of still want to fortify that space in case... They're not going to do a massive load of damage this turn, though, so you don't need to worry about it. He's got set sail, but he's miles away. I'm kind of thinking, let them do it. They're just moving forward. If the cannonball happens, we can just recover from it, because there's no, like, card limit. There's replayability if you've played through all the scenarios. So you can add all of the... Each scenario's got 2 optional extra difficulty things that you can use to increase the difficulty as you play through again. And... like, just from scenario to scenario, the order that things will happen in the army decks and the horrors and things that come out will change things about. What have I done? Oh, I've ended it, haven't I? So, he's firing the cannon. So, probably should have ran over there to try and stop that. Burning charge, swift fortify. So, they are not the fastest. Fire the cannon is fastest with 10. So, they're not going to gain or lose. Yeah, we couldn't have made this 6 any faster. So fire the cannon. They don't have damage, so he's going to fire the cannon. In space 12. So that cannon is coming in with all units on here. They've got 1, 2 defense. So that's removed. 3 damage in total, so they take 1 damage. Bears didn't take damage from this. So yeah, once the bears move in, it might be with one of us kind of flitting between these spaces and someone over here making him re-roll to try and hit the bears to drive their morale down. And then eventually you can just move these backwards, and that would lose them like 2 morale if no one was in this space. And if he moved backwards there, that would be another 1. Okay, so that's that. Bears didn't take damage, so they're done. 6, 9. If this order has the highest, gain a morale. If it has the lowest, lose a morale. Neither's true. Fortify. Each star macaw places a fortification on its space. So he's got his fortification back. They've got 3 on there now. That's it for them. And then a burning charge. So it's the cogs. If any bear in this group has damage, and then they would do more damage for every damage they've taken. But they haven't. They are just moving forward a space. They didn't enter a core space, so they don't get to attack. They are going to attack. So he is going to be in range of him. And that's all we know for next time. So... He's pretty heavily fortified at the moment. He's got 4 defense with all them fortifications. Is everything gone okay? I think so. We could even discard that and stop them from striking. What about moving? Food poisoning? We kind of want, like, for when that burning happens, we want everyone to have a bit of damage, but maybe they're just going to get that from the fighting anyway. Survey cards. These are like your move cards about. They are like rubbery bases, just to make them easier to get on. But it is a really cool way of like making them interact as well, of having these groups in the army. It's a really cool system. We need to know what they're doing, because I don't want circles to attack. Well, actually, that would be okay. It would lose all the fortifications. I don't want them to yeah. Fortifications on any space might help, but let's do that to survey. Advance. The cog's going to move 1 forward. So that's good, because he's going to damage him, but he attacks sometimes, and then he's going to be in danger. I just lost the discard, though, didn't I? Because their revoker's gone as well, hasn't it? So that's... I think there's only 1 revoke. So... let's move advance to the bottom, because it will need to be reshuffled, because we've had an extra right-hand card, won't we? No, that won't work. But it won't happen yet. Yeah, that's the thing I love about this, and I loved about Dawn of Peacemakers, that the whole game is the opposite of what you're doing in combat games. And there is a normal combat game happening between these 2 bot-controlled things, and we are trying to ruin it for them, which I love. I don't know that that's helped any, what I've just done then. Okay, so now what are they doing? Strike. The stars are going to attack. He is in range of 1 of them, but they've got no damage, so it might not hurt. Just put the damage near the basis, so remember who's got it, since they're lying down for video purposes. Yeah, they're going to attack each other a bit. We could maybe... yeah, use the food poisoning to move, because that'll let me draw a card. I'm going to stand up for a bit so I can fit in the space. Mixed groups. I can change the group to be cogs instead. Actually, we know their bottom card, don't we? Their bottom card is the Stars Charge. We don't really want that. It's going to happen at some point. Let's survey the left card and have a look. If the right half is cover, what if the next card is cover? They've had 2 cover. How many is going to be in their deck? If their right half is cover, they'll lose a morale. I'm going to discard strike, so they won't do any attacking, and maybe they're going to do cover. And they'll lose a morale if they do that. So then, probably want to put some fortifications in this space until these guys move on, if they're going to be attacking, so they don't take loads of damage. And then are we happy with that? I think we're happy with that. So, oh, I've moved the cards at some point. I think we accumulated a load of cards, didn't we? So I started spending them. Emergency care. The wrong person's drawn emergency care. We want some care on that guy. And heal him up, or just move him back, or keep fortifying him. Let's see what's happening. Party time on the fire-up ship. Oh, if he'd had damage on him. No, it's charge. Oh, I don't want charge. Oh, I don't want charge at all. Oh, no. Something bad's happened. I think somebody's going to die. Oh. Yeah, there's two covers, but there's 3 charges. And we know now. There's 4 charges actually. And I haven't got my change the group. Should have played that just in case it was something I didn't want, but I played it for some other reason. So, speed 093. So a sturdy charge from the bears. Each bear gains +2 defense for this round. If the write-off is cover, lose a morale. No. Then each star moves a space forward, which means oh no, his fortifications do not move with him. That's what I'm scared of. So that's not bad yet. But then we have the macaws. Resolve the right half first. Each star macaw attacks. So they will go for the closest enemy, starting from the front and continuing clockwise. So he'll go here, then all the way clockwise until 1 range. Then he'll move out to 2 range. So the closest enemy for him is going to be one of these. And we just roll a die, but to be honest, it doesn't matter. Like, we'll say odds left. The other one takes the damage. Oh, actually, that just removes fortification as well, so it didn't matter, because the fortifications absorb it. In this case, though, so I'm not going to be able to have a clean run. This guy, closest one, is this bear who, by discarding a card, I made charge forward. I could have looked at the card as well. For some reason, was sure it was going to be cover. So, with no fortifications, takes 3 damage and is killed. So, they lose a morale. A new horror goes on top of the deck. And we've failed at the ultimate goal, really, of stop all of that. So, discard a new right half. So, does this affect the same group? No, so they don't lose a morale. Resolve the new right half. Advance. He moves a space forward. Okay. And then party time. If the Tuatara has damage, it loses a morale. Otherwise, they gain a morale and he takes 2 damage from partying too hard. They just gain the morale back as well. Okay. So the stars are going to charge again. So what do we do? He's got loads of cards that would be good for Yinar. With Safe Haven, he is going to survey the bears because this is already face up. So we shuffle the discard pile. And then put it underneath and reveal the topmost one. So this is strike. So the turn after this, the stars are going to attack. And he is in range, but not enough to... He's not going to do any damage. He could have walked over at any point and just healed that bear as well. I know it's like putting 2 on the same army, but... Yeah, there was an easy fix. Got no survey cards. Can flip the topmost card from anyone's deck. Let's see. He hasn't got set sail anyway. Well, let's see what the pirates are going to fire the cannon. So there is like a bit of a chance. Like a 1 in 3 chance that it would attack bears if they were on there, but it's so fast the bears wouldn't be there yet. Should have already moved them about to there. Let's do improvised order on the bears. Flip the bottommost up and put it on the top or not. Roaring, resolve the right half first. If a macaw is within 1 space of this group, the macaws go down 1. Otherwise, the bears go down 1. And we know charge is happening. So it will make the macaws go down. Really, we would like the bears to go down 1. Is there a way to change the order of the cards? There isn't. So resolve the right half first. The bears will have charged. Ooh. Move any 1 card from a nearby army to any other position in their deck. We will move charge underneath. So he is going to attack first this turn. But they aren't within a space, so they'll lose a morale. For roaring at nothing. Okay. So he's getting attacked. He's already got 3 fortifications. Do we want to just move over there and fortify it a bit more for the future? Maybe like the cannon's getting fired as well. Move and draw a new card with this rather than food. Oh, but the new card's going to be horror. So this is going to affect Yinar. Shuffle each nearby army's deck, leaving any face-up cards face up. Okay. Well, that actually doesn't matter. So we can do that. Just these 2 cards we don't know about get shuffled. And then can fortify this space too. And then just stick. Yeah. The lizard is a pirate. So the bears have, after war had been stopped, the bears, like these bears haven't got the message and are continuing a war. Just need to shuffle the resource deck. And out of nowhere, the pirates have just decided they're going to join in this. So they are allied with the bears in some fashion. So they are just in the sea. Oh, you test 720p. I'm glad you can see it in 4K. Really annoys me, especially. I think it happens on the PC as well now, though. On the app on Facebook, always defaulting to 720p. At least give me 1080. Come on, guys. How many cards do I need? 1 more card. Right. Armies. Cannons being fired. This could be bad. We already know what the bears are doing, and I'm happy with that. The macaws are being impatient, and they need to shuffle their right halves. So no idea what they're going to do. Which, yeah, you could have surveyed. I didn't. Emergency. It could have fortified and then drawn another card, and that might have been survey. They're advancing. Oh, he's advancing. Oh, that's bad. He's in trouble because I can't fort. Can I fort? No, I can't fortify these spaces, can I? No, I can't fortify impassable spaces. So 10, 4, 9. Fire the cannon first. He does have damage. He heals his 2 damage and he does not fire the cannon. Okay. Oh well, they're fortified for the future. Did any bear take damage? Nobody took any damage. Impatient advance. Resolve the right half first. The macaw ranger moves a space forward. If the right half is strike, put it face up so it would do that again next time. So, pop that back. I think, are you watching on a 1080 thing, James? Because I don't think it shows you like past 1080 if it's the highest. The thing you're watching on will go, like if it's 1080 monitor or something. But hopefully, if it works properly. YouTube owed me all the bandwidth. What I've given them. Okay, that's the macaw's done. And then the bears. Roaring Strike. Resolve the right half first. The Star Bear attacks. Oh, the Amuati the Valiant. A living legend among bears, Amuati never backs down in battle. Injuries only feeding his rage. So he has a range of 2 as well. Closest straight ahead is going to be him. So he attacks for 2. 1 shield in the space. 1 fortification. Oh no, 3, sorry. 2 fortifications go away. And then that's all of the Star Bears attacking. If any Macaw is within 1 space of this group, Macaws lose a morale, otherwise the bears. So 7 and 7. And that's it for them. And we know that the star is going to charge next time, but might be in range of the cannon for the future. But will be within 1 of Macaw's in the future as well. Okay. So, Joel, you've got 5k. My cameras can't do that. Let's stick with 4. 4 is what I can afford. I wonder if you can get 8k ones now. I doubt you can within my budget. Right, so I can speed up some orders, fortifying things. If I'm just happy to let them charge, maybe. Or we could just let them charge and we could change it to cogs. Oh, change it to circles this time. And that would mean nothing happened if you changed it to circles, because there aren't any circles in the bears. But what about Safe Haven? That can put 2 fortifications out in any space. There, where they're going. And then I don't really need to see what the bears are doing right now. Carrier Pigeon, we could give each other some cards. Don't really need to heal him 1 damage, do we? Emergency care, let's move and draw a card. Because these fortifications have been worn down, and he could fire the cannon again in a minute. He's full health. Maybe he'll start attacking. But eventually, the pirate is just going to start hitting him, and then we're really scared when that starts happening. Fortify, I haven't got great fortification cards. If we use this emergency care to fortify, I get to draw another card, though. Should we do any surveying? Flip the topmost card from anyone's deck. Let's... Well, we could just survey this card, couldn't we? Because we don't know any of it yet. They're fortifying. I'm completely fine with you fortifying. Should we save it? Save the cards. Draw some new ones, let the armies go. Not found that horror card yet. Still very annoyed that I've let 1 get in. Defend the ship. Oh, he's going to attack the Macaw. Okay, so 6, 7, 9. The Macaws are first. Swift Fortify. If this has the highest speed, stop being swift. They've up their morale. Each Macaw places a fortification on its space. There's 1. There's 1. And that's them done. We need to get them off there. It's all, yeah, it's all in the same universe. It's Galzir and Dawn of Peacemakers. No, this is Dawn of Peacemakers. Dale of Merchants is the thing I'm trying to say. The bears, remedial charge. So stars, remove 2 damage from each of the stars. A bit late. Then each star bear charges 1 space forward. They can move into Macaw's spaces and they would attack if they had. Then Tuatara attacks. So he's got 2 range. He's going to attack for 3 damage. He is not fortified at all, and I don't know what I can do about him because I let him move in the first place. And then he gains +2 shield for the rest of the round, but that's it for him. So, we can place new fortifications. We can do stuff. I want the cogs to charge so that they could get cannoned, because it's all going to get shuffled now. So people are eligible to be cannoned again. We need to do some surveying. And we could change the... Let's survey with this. So maybe we want people to be faster. Cogs are going to attack. We could do with that not happening. We could make it so that that happens to circle instead. But I think first we're going to look at the top card on this side as well, because sturdy, if the right half is cover, lose morale. It's not cover, and I can't change it. I can make it be circle strike, though, so they don't attack. And that's them kind of dealt with. We don't know what these guys are doing. Let's survey just to see this side. Fortify, I'm fine with. Hopefully they don't get swift again. You could, Luke. We could carry a pigeon, actually. Draw a card from the deck. You can give a card to someone else. They can give a card to you. Heal a bit. Fortifications on any space. Don't think it would help giving set sail. No. I wish I'd surveyed with that. Let's let him go and hope that he fires the cannon and it hits 1 and 2. But we need their morale to go down as well. We need the cards that make them move back. But why don't you move to him then? Because that would let you draw a new card. Oh, it's extra defense, but it's not move them back. Don't really want to move in order to draw a card. Put fortifications down. No, let's let him go. So drawing new cards. And we'll have a fair few to choose from next time. We've got a cunning retreat, so we can just get him out, and that's 2 morale that they'll lose. And then for the armies, we've got 5 speed for the bears. We've got 10 speed. The cannon is getting fired, so I'm hoping for a 1-2 roll. Oh, every time he hits the bears with that cannon, they lose a morale. If I was there, I could make him re-roll it once. And then Prideful Fortify. So 5, 6, 10. Fire the cannon. He doesn't have damage. Otherwise, roll the die. Come on, everyone. Will it to be 1 and 2? 1 or 2. 6. That isn't 1 or 2. So he hits this space for 3 damage. 1 is shielded just by the space. 2 fortifications get taken off. He didn't hit a bear, so that's that. Next is 6 for the macaws. Prideful, resolve the right half first. Each star macaw places a fortification in its space. Got loads. Then, if they have a total of at least 5 fortifications, they gain a morale. I'm letting them get too much. And then Sturdy Strike. Each bear gets 2 defense for this round. If the right half is cover, lose morale. It's not. So we changed their strike to the circle group, which there isn't one. So they basically don't. Nobody strikes anybody. Oh, I'm going the opposite way that I need it to. So we can make people get defenses. We can add fortifications. So if we want them to lose fortifications now, though, we want to have less than 5, which is risky, but let's survey what the bears are doing. The stars are going to charge. I don't want that. Can only discard cards from a nearby army. This changes it 2 stars. If he moves, he can draw a new card. And we can draw a card from the resource deck with Carrier Pigeon. Discard a card from a nearby army. You can give a card to another player. Another player can give a card to you. What about... yeah, just give that to him. Yeah. And then we will discard Star Charge. So don't want him charging any further because he'll get into the Macaw's space and he'll start hitting, and we don't want that. And then he's got loads of cards. So first we want a bit of surveying. Don't want more fortifications just yet, do we? So the circle Macaws will strike. It's slow. The spaces are a bit fortified, and we do want the bears to have a bit of damage. Maybe that's okay. So we could change it to the star group. They're still in range, so it doesn't really matter. I want to use Cunning Retreat as much as I want to survey and get a new card. Defensive Spirit, we will survey again. They are striking 2 turns in a row. Actually, if we move him off this space, then he won't be in range to hit anybody. This is at Manacon. It's not too far. I think it's about an hour away. We went there many years ago. Whenever Escape Plan was on Kickstarter. We have no more budget for conventions though this year. It's a lot more than usual. It's been great. But now it's panic time for the budget. So we're moving back now. If we're moving back now, I'm not in a space. Yeah, moving back. So he's not fortified at all, but he's not going to get cannoned. And hopefully that's just it for him. He loses 2 motivation because he got that from being in the fortress. And then he can move here and draw a new card. Food poisoning. Discard cards. He's going to make the next order apply to stars instead, so only he will attack. Yeah, and let's let them go. So new cards, we've got our set sail. I haven't gone over there once ever. So he fired the cannon last time, that should have been discarded. So this time he is healing himself. He's full though. Burning charge. They're going... Oh no, they're not going slow. So swift. We want the cogs to have damage. I think they're going to have damage. The cogs charging we're okay with. So first of all, swift strike. This is the fastest, so they gain a morale. Ah! Stop! Then the stars attack. So you are out of range of everybody. You will attack ones in front of you. So it's 3 damage. Fortification. You take 2 damage. Then, burning charge. If any bear in this group has damage, lose a morale. Then they gain extra damage, though. Then they're going to charge a space forward. So they're in the range of the cannon. So there's a good chance of bears getting hit. So we kind of need fortifications going up. There's some fortifications here. And then patch things up. He's going to heal for 4, but he's already full health. So I think something that needs to happen... We need to stop charging, though. Flip the topmost card from any army's deck and just see if a charge is happening. Cover's happening, that's fine. But that means can't fortify that space, and he would die if the cannon was fired on that space. Let's discard this, stop them striking. Fortify this space 1 more and draw a new card. Gonna have to use a cunning retreat to move up. And then place a fortification with this. Really wasteful, not the right cards for that maneuver. But it's just, he might fire the cannon. Yeah, not happy with that, as wasteful as turns go. And then the horror card, so it affects him shuffle each nearby army's deck, so we don't know that they're covering. Not look at this, because you leave face-up cards face up when it's sufficiently shuffled. It's not cover. So they could charge and this could go horribly wrong. Kind of want them to be there so they might get hit by cannon fire, but... So that gets back in the discard, and we basically lose a card, and see what the armies are doing. Defend the ship. It's going to kill that Macaw. Oh, they are covering. If the right half is covered, they lose a morale. Perfect. Okay, that's maybe worked out better. It might not have been that first time. So speed 6, 7, 3. Sturdy cover for the bears. Each bear gets +2 defense. If the right half is cover, lose a morale. It is. Each bear gains +2 defense. They've got 4 defense, which is good because the Macaws are attacking. Defend the ship. He is attacking him for 3 damage. I let him fly out there. And he did nothing. He didn't attack him once. Oh, he was about to. Yeah, this is cogs, isn't it? You went too slow. Oh, well. Yeah, the no casualties really hasn't worked, does it? So they lose a morale for a casualty. And he gets +2 defense. That's done. That's done. Then Prime Strike. Resolve the right half first. Each cog Macaw attacks. There are none. If Tuatara has 3 damage or less, lose a morale. He has less than 3 damage. Then, discard a new right half. Does it affect the cogs as well? No. So they don't lose a morale from this. Resolve the new right half. Each star Macaw fortifies its space. You can't fortify a water space. This one is so fortified. And then that's it. Okay, so now what? I just don't want them charging. But surveying. Let's flip the bottommost card. Oh, we know the bottommost card. It's cover. So there's no point doing that. You know, a way to make the Macaws have a lot less fortifications is to move them out of that space. But then when these guys attack, you're in trouble. What about move, which lets him draw a card, which I know is a horror card, and that's going to be bad. Despair. This is going to affect him as well. After you resolve an action, return this face down on top of the resource deck. Discard this at the start of the next refresh. That sucks, because we need to do another action. He's going to give... Yeah. Yeah, give Akazan that card, which means that goes back on top of the deck. And then Akazan is going to move 2 spaces, 1, 2, and he will move... Oh, they're only move 1 space, though. That's not a good idea at all. I thought it was moving 2 spaces, but no, it's moved 2 units. So the danger then is that they're all vulnerable and in the water, and we've got no surveying. Okay, so I've realised that was a stupid idea. Has he lost a card? Oh, he moved, didn't he? So if you have them stood on there, what are you going to do then? We need to reveal if they're not covering, what are they going to do? They're charging, and we don't want that. But I don't think I can stop it. They're going to charge and fight them. This is all going very wrong. But I can't really do anything about it. Discard the despair. We will... Maybe it's going to be revoked and they won't get to do it. Let's see. I don't know why I'm putting it on the discard pile. No, it's burning. So they will lose a morale, but there's going to be some fighting. Okay, so 10, 6, 5. Fire the cannon. He doesn't have any damage. So we are hoping for 1 to 2, really. No, 6. So that means 3 damage in here, so the fortifications go away. Didn't hit any bears. I don't think it's rolled that. Oh, he rolled 3 or 4 once. And then... So that's him. 6, 5. So does any bear in this group have damage? Yes, lose a morale. Each one gains extra damage for every thing it has. So they charge in. We're going to have to stand people up now, unfortunately, just because spaces are too crowded. So the fortifications still in play. So these can charge in because the charge card lets them, which means that the bears are now in this space and gain a motivation. He is going to attack someone for his 3 damage, which I assume we just get rid of the fortifications, right? There's 1 on the space and then 2 fortifications. And then he attacks for 3, 4, 5 because of his damage. So there are no more fortifications there. And no more there either. So that's them. Impatient Strike. Resolve the right half first. If the right half is a strike, it stays there. So Circle Macaws are attacking. So he would attack the one closest enemy starting from the front first. Facing that way. So 3 damage to him. 1, 2. 3. And yes, so that stays there. They're going to strike again. We know that the bears are covering. Hopefully we get the card that's if they're covering bad stuff. So. Things to do. Move with food poisoning and draw a new card. Defensive Spirit would be nice. I know you don't want to move yet. Take back. Give him this card first, then move. So why is he moving? I don't know. I had a plan. Let's flip over the bottom bear card. Remedial, remove damage. We'll leave that on the bottom. Let's move with set sail. To here. Move cards. No. Move again. And then he can move 2 units backwards. Move these guys. Back here. Hopefully they won't charge again. They're just covering, aren't they? That he is covering. And fortify the space. We could draw a card and give it to someone. Hang on to it. They haven't taken any damage yet. Circles are attacking. Well, we could discard that and stop any strike from happening. And if he can move people back again, he can get them out of here and that would make them lose a morale. Just the strike's a slow card and they keep getting morale from being too fast. Just put 2 fortifications here in case the cannon's going off again. And leave it there. Gone through the deck. Very quick, although you're drawing 4 cards at the same time. How could you have? Let's see what they're doing. He's defending the ship, so nothing's going to happen from the cannon, which is frustrating. They are not covering, so 6. Oh, I need to shuffle this. 6/3, and they're impatient again. They could be striking because you discarded it. Maybe discarding it didn't even help. They are striking. So 6 happens first. He attacks and is defending himself. Impatient strike. The circle Macaw attacks. Is going to attack him again for 4 damage, and that card is going to stay on top of the deck. 3 damage. It's going to have 4 in total. So he's got 1 health left. And then we're in trouble. So, revoked, do not resolve the right half. We are so close for them being in the resign, but these guys are winning too well. We'll get them out of there, and that's a morale. Is it morale for each of them? Stood in there. In which case they would have had and then lost more and more. Now I think about it. Or is it just if they're in there, they get morale? Yeah, it's just like in total. If there's a unit in that space, they get that much morale. So by getting them out of there, we could get them to lowered by 2. Right, so fortifications. So we're both on the Macaws. Let's move to the bears and give them some defense. So move and draw a card. We need get off this space cards to use on the Macaws. Just do a quick shuffle. Change it to cogs. So yeah, so the bears can have +2 defense. Let's have a look at what they're doing, but I don't think we can change it. They are charging. The star bear is charging. That's such a bad idea. Do not do that, mate. You've got 1 health left. So, revoked's already happened. It's not going to be that. The resource deck's a horror. The circle Macaw is attacking him. And if that happens first... Can't move him away, though. Moving it, even if we could move him backwards, that's still going to happen. Draw a card from the deck, which I know is horror. Shuffle each nearby army's deck nearby to him. So that's going to be... Oh, they might not charge. Could end up being a good thing. Oh, no. Keep charge face up. Oh, yeah, the leader's got more health. I don't have to be worried. Maybe worked out well. So I don't want him charging in still. And then shuffle this. Remedial might up. And he shut my eyes because of the... Or just not like... the face-up card. And that is happening. Remove damage from bears in group. We don't know which group. I don't think I care which group. They're defended a bear. Let's put some fortifications in here. He'll use this to put some fortifications in here. And let's hope they're all right. 2 cards each. I'm just looking for horror card. So he basically can't do action. If he does an action, he puts that back on the deck. So, army, surely he's firing the cannon. He hasn't done it for ages. Remedial cover. And a revoked strike, so he's not attacking. Great. So the cannon happens first. Doesn't have any damage, so he'll fire the cannon. We are hoping for 1 to 4, please. 8, nope. So 3 damage over here. Glad we fortified it. No damage goes into them. Bears didn't take damage. 5 next. Remove 2 damage from each star bear. And they gain +2 cover, so didn't even need this extra 2 defense. And then finally, the macaws do nothing because it's revoked, so they don't do their right half, and they lose a morale. It's close. Ooh. Right. So they're not doing remedial cover. We don't know what anybody's doing. So he can look at the bears. If he fortifies this space, he can have a new card. Place fortifications. He'll survey with it. They're charging. Let's put the bottommost one face up. We know that's a charge though, so don't do that, because that's already on the bottom. Now, you wouldn't know that, would you? Gee, let's look at any face up. I don't think I would know that. I think we would have had to have done that. So that's fortified though, so him charging and attacking isn't going to be bad, but they'll gain a motivation for that. So that's more people I need to move out. And he's not going to do anything, so we discard this. Fire that cannon. Oh, it's party time. He hasn't got damage, so he gains a morale. They're fast, so they gain a morale. Come on, guys. We've got homes to go to. So, 11 speed. It's the fastest. They gain a morale. That macaw is dead and doesn't move forward. Then remove 2 damage from the stars. So he's full health, and he charges a space forward and attacks this guy for 3, which is just going to be the defenses of the space and the fortifications. And then if he has damage, lose a morale, he could be going to him in food poisoning, couldn't he? If I get the card that lets me go to him. They gain a morale, and he takes 2 damage. So he won't fire the cannon. I want him to fire the cannon. Right. And Yainar's stood on a space on his own. So nobody's nearby. This can be any army's deck, though. So he'll charge and be in a space on his own, but get even more motivation. But then we could like push him to here afterwards at some point. Is that whose damage is that? Is that his damage? He hasn't taken with him. He can survey the macaws. Let's see what they're doing. Fortify, that's fine. Although he can't fortify where he is. We'll fortify this space to draw a new card. It's not moved backwards. We can discard cards. I don't really want to discard the fortify card, do we? We can have a look at this. Oh, if the card underneath is the same army, they're going to lose a morale. But they'll get to do two things. Maybe we should know what it is. Flip any card face up from the deck. Hey, Jester, how's it going? We are trying to stop... No, it's not the same stuff. Discard any card from a nearby army. We'll discard this Circle Strike. Maybe the next thing will be stars as well. Yeah, because he's stood with the Macaws. And then just leave them. Yeah. Charge to this space and then he can move off. And it'll be fine, I think. Yeah, leave them. It's defensive switch. Cunning Retreat. There we go. Got one of the ones that we need. Fire the cannon. A Roaring Charge. And a Prime Fortify. So 10, 8, 5. Fire the cannon first. But no, he just heals his damage. Then, Roaring Charge. Resolve the right half first. So he moves a space forward. But a Macaw is not in that space. So he doesn't attack. If Macaw is within a space of this group, Macaws lose a... That's kind of what we want, though. He gains a motivation for being in there. If they can go down a motivation, and we can get everybody out of the motivation spaces, that will be it. Right, that's done. That's done. Prime Fortify. Resolve this first. Each star fortifies its space. You can't fortify water. And then discard for a new right half. We want this to be stars as well. It's not. It's cogs. So they don't lose things. Resolve the right half. There are no cogs, but if Tuatara has 3 damage or less, lose a morale. We might not need to get all of them out. Okay. So. We don't know anything that might happen. Cunning Retreat. I need to use to get people out so much. Move here and draw a card. Cunning Retreat. Let's put him there. Is that backwards? Can I do that? I've always just moved them straight back. There is a bit of a delay when I ask these things. No, it's relative to the direction it's facing. So maybe you just stay there then. And just move these two back. But you don't want them to surrender completely, so you don't want to do that yet. Move to a space for this. You moved to a space already. You spent the stuff. I don't want to spend Cunning Retreat. Let's look at what the bears are doing then. Charge. Them charging. We don't want that. So maybe move with this to draw a new card. And we do want to go and charge them out of there right now. Well, if they get attacked by normal things, there's no fortifications in that space. So they lose our motivation. If these guys can lose 2 motivation, 3 motivation, it will be over. Draw a card. You can give it to someone. And they can give one to you. Give me that. And then I'll move to the bears and discard their charge. Because if they get the charge, they get motivation. Okay, so he stood doing nothing. Move to the Macaws and get a new card. Running out of cards again, though. Let them do what they want. We need to... He needs to fire a cannon and hit them bears. What is it? 3, 4, 11 or 12, please. Oh no, we don't want to discard the charge. No, but they get motivation. But you moved them out. I don't know. I'm doing things. It's kind of working out, isn't it? Well, 2 people died, but you know, I'm doing my best. It's the plight of a Care Bear player. There's a enormously strong current you're swimming against. And yet you don't see me going, oh, I go against popular opinion of things. I'll speak my mind. I do, but I mean, I don't plaster that about. I would assume that you would assume that I would speak my mind and be honest about things. Right. 10. Fire the cannon. He's got no damage. He's firing his cannon. 3, 4, 11, or 12, please. This would be the first time he's attacked a bear. No. 2. Hits nobody, because he's charged and charged. Bears didn't take damage, so that's that. It just seems like too much of a waste to just be stood there making him reroll when he decides to do things. We could be manipulating his deck as well. If there's 3 players, maybe. So 5 and 5, but it's 5.3 over here. So an impatient strike. The stars attack. So he will get attacked for 3. That would just be the fortifications. He will get attacked for 3 again. So that's 2 damage. Might want to be careful stood in there. And then, if the right half is strike, leave it there. And then sturdy strike. The right half isn't cover. He attacks him for 3. So now he's in trouble. Oh no, he's the commander as well, isn't he? He's got 8 health as well. It's commander versus commander. I probably, if I worked the delay out right, I probably had a drink when just as that came through. Well, thank you. I do forget. Right. They are ready to surrender. I just need him to move back twice. And then hopefully they'll lose 1 from something. Who's with the bears? He's with the bears. Move and get a new card. I just want to try and find move and back cards. Move and draw a card. Move and draw a card. There we go, got one. So, play that for Cunning Retreat, please, and move him back there. That's 1. Move and draw a card. We might have already gotten through all of the other ones already. Fortify and draw a card. And take your damage with you. Just defensive spirit. Move and draw a card. Flip the bottommost thing face up. We don't want him having that, though. I suppose it would have made sense. Like, if you're going to move in the middle of nowhere, move to him. Right, give him that. We're both on bears. Let's flip the bottommost card. Face up. It's strike for cogs. They are in range. So let's leave that on the bottom. Let's have a look at this bottom card. Revoked. Okay, now I wish I'd left it on the top. Maybe I should have done this one first. Revoked, I'm happy with. Draw a card from the resource deck. Move cards into any other position in their respective decks. From a nearby thing, yes. Let's stop a strike from happening. Like, that will just get revoked and not happen. Actually, he could have done that, so then we keep a card each. And then move a guy cards for next time. He's got it. So move him back. We don't know what they're going to do in the round, but they would potentially surrender. Fire the cannon. So that's surely happening first. 5. 5 is this space. So 1, 2 protection, 1 damage coming into each of these guys. Is this guy this damaged? I think it should be one of these. Should it? Yeah, I think it's this left guy. He hit a bear. A bear took damage. Lose a morale. It could happen. Then 7. It could happen now. This order is not the highest or the lowest speed. So ignore that. Star Macaws attack. As long as they don't kill somebody. I don't think that changes things, but I think they are going to kill somebody. 1, 2 away. They go straight in front of them first. So definitely target here. There is no defense in the space. There's a fortification. I knew they were going to attack as well. I didn't do anything about it. So it's this space. The enemy with the least remaining health. They attack this guy with 2 health left for 3 damage. I killed another. Let someone else die. 3. The plan was none. So he attacks, and then he will attack him. 1 fortification in the space, 2 more damage, but he's got 8 health. Same as him. And then revoked strike. They can't do anything. I think a bittersweet ending. But then we go into the status phase, which has never been relevant because you check to see if the game has ended. If both sides' motivations are green, you win. Wow, I didn't think it was going that way. I thought it was going completely the opposite. And that I'd moved the macaws out too soon and stuff. Probably could have fortified that space, knowing that the macaws were about to attack and stop that from happening. So there we go. You would be able to now, on the achievement sheet, peace achieved in loose cannon. I'm not writing on my actual sheet though. Definitely did not get the achievement. No casualties. 3 casualties. I think worse than previous attempts. Did I do this one before? I think I did. But could have upped the difficulty. Triple barrel. You can have a look at them now. I thought it wouldn't make much sense if I tell you the things before we see the game. But to add a difficulty star to this. Oh yeah, they should go down 1 more. Thanks, Sammy. But still didn't surrender. A risk there. 1 more, they could have surrendered, and then you would lose if one side surrenders. So to up the difficulty by 1 star to 3. Each fire the cannon is resolved 3 times in a row. Fully resolve the card's effect each time. Actually, I wish I'd gone for that. That would have been very funny and chaotic, I think. And Fog of War for 2 extra difficulty stars. And you can do either or both of these if you want. You can't survey. I would have liked to have seen the cannons going off. Then it's tough, isn't it? Because if there's only 2 of you. Because you need to be nearby to someone to survey them. I suppose if you can't survey them, you are maybe a little bit more free to go over and check out the pirate ship, because there are still effects where you want to be nearby, and there's plenty of flip over a card which isn't surveying. But yeah, without the survey action, you would maybe feel a little bit more free to go and stand on him, and if he's gonna be doing 3 fire the cannons in a row, it would definitely help you out having a reroll, because he could potentially hit the bears 3 times. Although if he did that, he would probably kill a bear. But there we go. Not successful at my ultimate aim of trying to save everybody and have 0 casualties, but we did prevent an all-out war. Did stop the battle. The sides have gone home, and there's a partial victory there, isn't there? So that is one of the scenarios. I did scenario 1 of this back when it was on Kickstarter. So I think, right, correct me if I'm wrong, Sammy, but I think everything from that playthrough is still relevant, right? I don't think any rules and things changed from that. So you can watch that if you'd like to check out another scenario. But there are 6 in the game, and there's all those like extra bits you can pop on. And that is a look at Peacemakers Horrors of War, which I think is arriving with backers fairly soon and should be available shortly after that, if I've piqued your interest. And there's if you are interested in the world, then there's Lands of Galzir that I've done loads of playthroughs for. There is Dale of Merchants. Lands of Galzir are an open world exploration, adventuring kind of game, story based kind of game, and Dale of Merchants, a deck building mercantile kind of game where loads of different types of animals all behave differently to make the games play really differently as well. You can check them all out on the channel at this point, and Dawn of Peacemakers if you'd like to check out the original as well. But for now, I think that is it. There will be videos going up. I think ISS Vanguard begins on Sunday, or continues if you're on Patreon. Patreon.com/slickerdrips if you'd like to support me and enable me to do more of this. But yeah, ISS Vanguard next. We'll be live with something next week as well, and more videos going up. There is a lot of stuff happening. There's a lot of stuff arriving. It's exciting. It's tends to get it all done in time, but yeah, it's hopefully gonna be great. I'll rebalance some cards, but it's still, yeah, the system at large is the same. So yeah, bear in mind that was a prototype, but you can still check out scenario 1 with that playthrough. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks to Sammy as well for asking me if I would like to do this one early, because yes, I very, very much would. But thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your support. Have a lovely weekend, everybody, and I will see you soon for some more. And let's see if the credits in this new program work out. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye.